Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, let me look at this real quick, okay? Wizard. 4 ruling powers control the Shadowlands, each of which is desperate need of the aid of the heroes of Azeroth. In exchange for your help, the Covenants are willing to share a piece of their power and access to the rewards and other blessings, boons, or temptations they have to offer. As you level up your initial journey throughout each of their domains, you'll get to experience the abilities they have to offer firsthand, before you ultimately choose the Covenant you wish to dedicate to yourself. The Kyrians, the denizens of Bastion. These angelic beings embrace humility in service to their order. Necrolords, comprised of witches, warlords, and spies. The Necrolord Covenant calls Maldraxxus home. They make up the army that defends the Shadowlands. Okay. Night Fae. Guardians of nature. The Night Fae inhabit Ardenweald and shepherd beings through the cycle of life and death. It was through their aid that the demigod Cenarius was able to make his return to Azeroth through the events of the Cataclysm. Alright, that's cool. Venthyr. Making their home in Rivendreth, the vampiric Venthyr are punishers of the unworthy, seeking to rehabilitate the sinful souls sent to them by the Arbiter. So, I think we're going to go with the Necrolords. I like that one the most. That one's the coolest. By the time comes to rally with one of these 4, you'll want to carefully consider the abilities that your Covenant will provide you. Well, I absolutely will as soon as you introduce them to Simcraft and they tell me which one I should pick. Each provides 2 abilities tailored to the theme of the Covenant. The first of these is the Covenant's signature ability, which is available to all Covenant members regardless of class, race, or specialization, and the ability helps you explore and engage with the world in new ways and gives you a unique tool to solve the problems that you encounter in Shadowlands. The second of these abilities is specific to your class and gives you a new spell or power to use in combat. Alright, yeah, I'll put the music up a little bit more since I'm not looking at the Eagle thing right now. Sure. To give you an idea of what to expect, we put together a list of Covenant signature abilities and class abilities. Please keep in mind that these are a work in progress and may have additional changes during the course of development and testing, and all abilities shown here are subject to change. Okay. What does that mean? I don't know, because I probably said it too fast. You didn't hear what I said. Here's what it is. Okay, all right, wait, let me look at the signature abilities. So these are like the baseline abilities that everybody gets no matter what if you choose each faction. Kyrian, call your steward to bring you a file, or just say file, of serenity that can be consumed to restore some of your health and remove all curse, disease, poison, and bleed effects. Okay, so this is the PvP one. Your steward additionally offers access to a selection of useful amenities once per day. All right, that's great. So it's like a portable Bed Bath and Beyond. Venthyr, Door of Shadows. Wind through the shadows. Why don't I just say walk? Like, why's it gotta be wind? That's like people that use whom instead of who. Give me a fucking break. Wind through the shadows, appearing at the targeted location. That's pretty cool. So it's basically a heroic leap. Necrolord, called Fleshcraft. Form a shield of flesh and bone that prevents damage equal to a portion of your maximum health. Standing near the corpse of a defeated enemy while the ability is cast creates a larger shield. That's pretty cool. Night Fae. Turn into a Vulpin. Turn into a Vulpin, increasing movement speed. You may reactivate Soul Shape to teleport a short distance forward. Additional cosmetic forms can be earned and collected through a variety of gameplay. Oh, great. You know what Vulpin are, right? In the game? They're foxes. Yeah, they're foxes. That's... So you get to turn into a fox. While out in the world, the effects are a short duration before it wears off, but lasts indefinitely while in a rest area. Aligning with a specific covenant provides access to class abilities that provide some additional combat-oriented gameplay, options that are tailored to the theme of the covenant. Every covenant offers an ability for each class, but note some of the covenant class abilities are still in development and are not currently represented in the chart. Okay. All right, so let's look at Warrior then. So Throw a Kyrian Spirit at the target, dealing arcane damage instantly and dealing more damage over time. Enemies hit are tethered to the Spirit Bastion's location for the duration. Condemn replaces Execute. Condemn a foe to suffer for their sins, causing shadow damage, only usable on enemies that are below or above. Oh, okay, so Condemn. Here, let me explain what Condemn is, okay? Reaping Flames. Like, literally reaping flames. It's reaping flames. That's what it is. Which is fine. I love the ability. I'm glad they're keeping it in the game. I hope that it's still ranged. Conqueror's Banner. Brandish the banner of the Necrolords, increasing your movement speed and causing Mortal Strike, Raging Blow, and Shield Slam to grant you glory. Killing the enemy grants additional stacks of glory. Activating this ability plants the banner in the ground, granting an increased amount of maximum health and additional attack speed to you and your allies within range of the banner. Lasts additional time for glory up to the maximum amount. So this is obviously the tanking one. This is obviously the PvP one. And this, or probably the PvP one, depending on how you do it. And these are like the DPS ones. That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, War Banner, basically Dread Banner. Yeah. Okay, so we look forward to sharing more information with you. Right. Okay, so here's how I feel about this. They can't lock the abilities behind the Covenant. It's just going to be fucking stupid. Like, just let us get all of them. Like, just let us have all the abilities. Or at least be able to pick one. Or make it to where you can't use them in Arena. But I think that's stupid. Like, why even have an ability if you can't use it in the content that matters? Like, read all? Wait, what? You skipped the GIF. Oh, okay, I'll go up to the GIF. Here, there, you guys can look at it. For Priest and Warrior. Yeah, that's the Warrior one right there. That's the Kyrian Spear. Read the 4 Druid abilities. What you choose must matter. No, it won't. It's just, that's stupid. Because here's what's going to happen. Is that if one of them is better, everybody who's going to pick them, or everybody who doesn't pick that one thing, will be excluded from content because they voluntarily handicap themselves. That's what's going to happen. You can pretend like, oh, in my own perfect fantasy world, everybody just plays what they want to have fun. Well, guess what? Nobody actually does that. That's not how it works. You either want choices or you don't. No, it's not about wanting choices. It's about wanting choices in different ways. So the reason why I don't want a choice here is because it's almost irreversible. I want choices that you can still manage and modify depending on what you're doing in different situations. Whenever you take one path, like what happens whenever this happens? Let's say Condemn gets released and it's fucking overpowered and they nerf it, and then it turns out that Spirit Bastion is better. Like, then you have to go back and do the entire thing over again. It should be like a talent tree or something similar to that. Like, the thing is that it sounds good, and for casual players, this is going to be fine. But what ends up happening is that casual players are never going to be anything more than casual players because they're doing the dumb shit like this, and nobody wants to play with them. Can't use in raids and dungeons? Well, then why even have them in the game at all? Why add in these cool new abilities to the game if you can't use them in the only content that matters? So yeah, oh yeah, let's remove them in Battlegrounds, RBGs, Arena, and raids and Mythic Plus. Yeah, then why even have them? It's like, yeah, I think like the cute little zone abilities in WoD were fine, but I want new spells. Like, I want my old spells back too, yes, but I also want new spells. World content abilities. Yeah, it's silly. So what should we do? It's simple. What they need to do is either make these abilities somehow, like, you go and you do one of them first, and then you can start working on the next one, right? So you still have the problem, but the problem sorts itself out as time goes on because you level up all 4 covenants. Or you just make these items or these abilities. You take this, and here's what you do. Let me open it up on my thing. Let me show you guys how this is going to work. So after you complete your quest line and you unlock all 4 of these covenants, or maybe you just hit level 60, there's actually a really interesting system that they made about 15 years ago that works perfectly with this. It's called the talent system. These are your level 60 talents. That's it. Yeah, you just make these talents. Problem solved. The thing is that in the more talent trees, people complain. It's not more talent trees. It's another talent row. Like, it's the exact same as what we have now. Look at the Druid ones. I got it, man. I got it. It's too soon to judge. No, it's not too soon to judge at all. Like, it's the same. Listen. Remember the picture of the guy shitting on the plate? And the guy says, oh, you're shitting on my plate. And he turns around. How do you know it's shit? It's not even out yet. Listen, we know it's going to be shit. We know it's going to be shit. You don't need to see it in like 8 different simulations to know that this is going to be shit. It will be. This is a bad design. They cannot give you player power that's hard, that's not interchangeable, because then everybody is only going to pick the one that's simulated to do the best. And then all of the other people that don't pick that are going to be excluded from content. Blizzard cannot design the game without doing it with the mindset of knowing what the players are going to do. All right. Let me go ahead. I'm going to look at the Druid thing, okay? Let me take a look at the Druid thing. Form bond with an ally on cooldown. You may empower the bond for a period of time, granting you an effect based on... Okay, so Symbiosis is Kindred Spirits. Ravenous Frenzy. For a period of time, Druid spells you cast increase your damage, healing, and haste by a percentage, stacking. Okay, they already had this in the game before. If you Spirit of Time idle, Frenzy overcomes you, consuming a percentage of your health per stack, stunning you, and then ending. Okay, so you just pop off until you can't anymore. Adaptive Swarm. Command a swarm that heals or deals shadow damage to a target and increases the effectiveness of periodic effects on them. Upon expiration, travels to a new target within range, alternating between friend and foe up to a set number of times. That's really interesting. I think that's cool. Invoke the Spirits. Call upon a Night Fae for an eruption of energy, channeling a rapid flurry of 16 Druid spells or abilities over 4 seconds? Holy shit. You will cast Moonfire, Wrath, Regrowth, Rejuvenation, Thrash, Rake, Shred, and Iron Fur on appropriate nearby targets, favoring your current specialization. So you just fucking Moonfire him 16 times. So it turns every Druid into a multi-boxer. That's cool. I like that. Let's see. What are the other ones here? Weapons of Order. Okay, nobody gives a shit about this. Divine Toll. Instantly cast Holy Shack, Vendor Shield, or Judgment on several targets within range. Okay, so it's just like an AoE, basically like Holy Wrath. Ashen Hollow. Hollow the target area, dealing shadow damage split between enemies and restoring health. Why is he doing shadow damage? You're a paladin. Paladins should be able to, they shouldn't be able to do shadow damage. I don't like that. Yeah, what do you mean? Like, how should you be able to do shadow damage? You're a fucking paladin. No. Shadowlands, Necro Covenant. You're either a paladin or you're not. Okay? Doing shadow damage is not something a paladin does. Hashtag not my paladin. Okay? That's weird. Fucking, like, I get that, like, yeah, the war, Shadowlands, yeah, fuck that. Paladins shouldn't do shit. Oh, I'm a dark paladin. Oh, really? Like, oh, give me a fucking break. You're a dark angel. I hate that stupid shit. Okay, I really, really do. Tell that to Arthas? Oh, really? Okay, sure. Arthas. You're doing shadow damage. You know what he would say? Of course I'm doing shadow damage. Because I'm a fucking Death Knight. This is so ridiculous. They need to fix this. Like, the abilities, I don't care, okay? Nobody cares about the abilities. It doesn't matter. I do care, however, about the abilities not ruining the fucking game. And I think that's what could potentially happen. I think it's a big mistake for Blizzard to use these abilities and not do this inside of the context of the game being in the state that it's in. The fact is that theoretically, this sounds really cool. But in the context of the way people play games nowadays, this will not work. Every single person that plays the game on even the most remote of a hardcore level knows that. Look at the way Classic happened. You do a raid, you've got 11 mages, 15 warriors, 9 rogues, and 1 warlock. And there's a rep paladin who's sitting in Ironforge hoping that somebody leaves so they don't have another slot and he can somehow get invited in. Like, think about how many rep paladins there are that are in Classic WoW that are guild leaders. Because if they're not a guild leader, nobody's going to take them to the raid. This is the fact. People play video games differently. That's the fact. They just do. And they're adding Killshot back? Yeah, they are. Resonating arrow equals wall hacks? What? Like, why do you even need wall hacks? That's fun. The moment. Yeah, I mean, there's almost no rep paladins. That's the whole point. Why do people not play rep paladins? Because they don't perform as well as the other classes do. That's just a fact. And it doesn't matter, like, what people want to play or not. People just aren't going to take you because you're not playing the best thing. And it's just the way it goes. And feel like shit more than being weak. No, it's not about that. There's tons of people that wanted to play rep paladins that would have played rep paladins, but they don't because they know that they won't find a raid spot. Like, that's ultimately what it is. Shamans also do shaman damage. I don't know what that means. When paladins killed N'Zoth, they created a new spill. Yeah, you have the wrong covenant, so no raid group for you. No, it's not even that's not what's going to happen. So here's what's going to happen. So let's say you have 3 warriors in your raiding group, and 2 of the warriors have the right covenant, and 1 warrior has the wrong covenant. And the difference in damage is 3 or 5%. And all of the warriors are basically playing at the same level. Why would the raid leader ever take the person who's consistently doing 3 to 5% less damage? Why would you ever take somebody that's consistently performing lower? You see what I'm saying? Because they don't die? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be like a secondary reason or something like that. High tier numbers. Yeah, there's another reason for it. But if you want to look at it as like a numerical thing, there's no reason to take somebody who's intentionally handicapping themselves. What if there is no wrong choice? There's going to be a wrong choice. Like, there's going to be a wrong choice, man. Like, I hate to break it to you, but there's going to be a wrong choice. Whether you like it or not. It's just the way things go. Anyway, Tim Tatman. Yeah, there's a few other people too, but I think in general, this is the way it's going to go. It kind of feels like they're trying to go for a more D&D style class system with these spells. Well, yeah, because they're doing it wrong. I really think that they're making a mistake by doing this. And if Blizzard doesn't decide to fix this, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. They cannot make the abilities for covenants be tied to the covenants. And if they do that, they're just setting this up for failure, for frustration, and to make tons of people unhappy. How do you fix them? I said a number of different ones. Resonating arrow in arena. What's resonating arrow? That's the warlock, or sorry, the hunter one. Wait, where is hunter? Fire a resonating arrow at the target location, filling the area with echoing anima. This effect causes your attacks to ignore a line of sight. Oh, wow. And you have an increased critical strike chance. Holy shit. Yeah, that is insane, dude. Wow. Okay. The mage skeletal one is awesome. I don't really know. I mean, I'll see what the mage skeletal one is. Deathborn, transform into a powerful skeletal mage for a period of time. While you're in the skeletal mage form, Frostbolt, Fireball, and Arcane Blast are greatly enhanced and your spell damage is increased. So it's basically like Archon form. That's pretty cool. I think that's cool. What if they keep returning them each patch, so you have to switch covenants every single time new content comes out? Then people are just going to get pissed off. Yeah, I think a lot of people would really dislike that. That'd be awful. Just give me 1 second here. So listen, I mean, this has got no new class for this. I'd rather them make the current classes better. I don't really care too much about that. Adding back symbiosis, yeah, they basically are. I think the new systems are answering new content. I don't know, man. Like, why getting mad? You know, they'll balance this in time. They can't balance it. Like, if they balance, there's no way. Like, does anybody in here genuinely think that they're going to be able to balance all of these different systems to be equally useful in PvP, PvE, raiding, dungeons, and arena at the same time? Does anybody, have they ever done that with anything? No, they haven't. And so there's going to be a best. There's always been a best. There will always be a best. They could do some. They would change it later if not. Yeah, they can't balance. Yeah, they can't balance Azurite armor. They can't balance shit. Making these tied to covenants is a bad decision. It is alpha. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm telling it now. I'm saying it now. As soon as we possibly fucking can. Because if we don't say it now, then it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. That's why we have to say it. Like, no, we have to be very, very vocal as early as possible. This is a bad decision. It will lead to bad outcomes, and there is no way to fix it except for scrapping the entire thing and redesigning the way that players obtain the abilities and the availability of the abilities. If they don't do that, it's going to suck. Or maybe they'll fix it in 9.3. You're right. There is that. Third Demon Hunter one for PvP. Okay, all right, I'll look at one more. Charge to an enemy, inflicting nature damage and rooting them. The target is marked for a period of time, increasing your fury from demon's bite against them. You may reactivate the hunt every 30 seconds to teleport behind the marked target, ignoring line of sight. Yeah, they really needed that. That's exactly what they needed. Because just in case you thought that you could get away from a demon hunter by some magic fucking bit of luck, surprise, bitch. He's back. I don't know, man. Like, it's broken as fuck. Well, I mean, like, these are all, they're all, like, new, right? And so, like, I do think that they will make the abilities more balanced, but they'll never make them balanced to the degree that we're talking about. Like, I think that one ability will not just be, like, ridiculously good for everything, but that might be what happens. We'll see. That's the Illidan's ability from Haunts. Yeah, I think something like that. So yes, I think this obviously does need to be, Blizzard does need to look at this again and figure out what the best way of handling it is. Because I honestly think that they don't know what they're doing with this. And regardless of the players that are, like, all of the hardcore and competitive player base has been pretty much universally against this. And I think if Blizzard ends up doing it anyway and saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter because that's just a hardcore players, it's going to end up affecting everybody because it's the same as faction balance. Basically, faction balance affects every single player, but it only really functionally affects the faction balance itself, and the difference between the factions really only affects the top 1%. It will cascade down. Yeah. So I think it's a terrible decision. I hope they change it, and we'll see what happens. Tweet this? I don't need to tweet it. Everybody knows it. I will tweet it, though. I will say something about it. I'm going to call it the day. I'm getting kind of tired. I'm getting kind of hungry. I do not plan on being online tomorrow unless the alpha comes out. If the alpha comes out, I go online.